got the goat of the government of India. India has now officially pulled up the BBC, formally objecting to the BBC's coverage of the terror attack that claimed 26 lives. In a letter addressed to the BBC India chief, Jackie Martin, the centre has raised concerns over the media outlets' use of the term militants instead of terrorists in their reporting. There is a vast difference between the two. Now, while the BBC has not officially responded to the letter, it has often been criticised of soft-focusing terrorists as militants or gunmen or worse, rebels. In 2003, when the BBC came under heavy fire for not calling the Hamas terrorists despite their own government doing so, this is what John Simpson, the BBC World Affairs editor, had given as way of an explanation. He had said, and I quote, "We don't take sides. We don't use loaded words like evil or cowardly. We don't talk about terrorists, and we are not the only ones to follow this line." He says some of the world's most respected news organizations have exactly the same policy. His last statement is partly true. And now the very same respected organizations are getting called out for it in their own countries. For example, in the United States of America, the New York Times was cut to size publicly by the Foreign Affairs Committee for its headline on Phalgan. The headline had read, it's on your screens, "At least 24 tourists gunned down by militants in Kashmir." The committee told the New York Times this was a terror strike, not a militant attack, and then accused the paper of being far removed from reality. Ladies and gentlemen, the question is the Western media whitewashing what has happened in Phalgan? And if so, should we be bothered at all? Karan Verma is an author joining us on the broadcast. Nikhil Chandwani is an author joining us on the broadcast. Advocate Dinesh Jotwani is a policy expert with us on the show. Sanjay Jha is an author. Tehseen Poonawala is a political analyst, all with us on the broadcast. Thank you all very much. Dinesh Jotwani, would you want to come in here? I think all of us are on the same page when it comes to this debate. My point is, if the Western press is whitewashing what is happening in Phalgan, like they have, for example, the use of the word armed gunmen, or the use of the word militant instead of terrorist, or the fact that none of the details, the gory details of what happened in Phalgan were actually put out in their reports, why should we even bother with them beyond a point? Look, I understand that the government of India today has blocked some 60 plus Pakistani YouTube channels. We know why that has been done, right? That has been done to control a hate narrative. In this case, many people can argue, but who in India really reads the New York Times?
Sure, very good point, actually. From legal perspective, I will say we need to be more aggressive. We have given a representation to or a letter to BBC, but finally, I will say that's not enough. That won't bring us the results. And why BBC? I'm seeing all disturbing media reports that are coming. Someone is saying 370 abrogation has failed, blaming the government for it. And overall, there was a report I was reading in which it was said that even now the houses are being demolished there in Kashmir. So this is disturbing because they are capturing a lot of Western subscribers, but also Indian subscribers also. So I think what the government should do, one or two very important things, I would say, not merely sending a letter won't suffice. They should now take it legally. And legally, I think the government and part of the government that can do it is MeitY, can actually block the IP addresses of these big publications. Not only those URLs which are giving false, but they have a huge subscriber base in India. If you look at New York Times, if you look at BBC, all these newspapers who are, I will say, reporting inaccurately should also lose the Indian market. And we should do it legally, absolutely legally. Maybe approach Press Council of India to ban them and maybe give them an opportunity of hearing also. But at the same time, we should see that these publications who have big followers or subscribers in India should also lose. And I would also go a step further. why not?
Okay.
Let us go abroad and let us file a case against them. Why can't we go to a New York court, or why can't we go
Okay.
to a London court? Indian government has capabilities, has means to
Okay.
actually go and fight it in their own soil. See, sending a letter itself, I would say,
Okay.
should be done more. It's very, I mean, it's a first step, but at the same time, I would urge the government of India to be more aggressive. The kind of disinformation that is happening is
Okay.
very disturbing
Okay.
for
So,
the Indians.
while I agree with you on one count, okay, we'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much, Tehseen Poonawalla, for joining us. Sanjay Jha, good to have you on the show. Advocate Dinesh Jotwani, thank you very much. Nikhil Chandwani, thank you. And Karan, thank you very much for being with us. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, it's a wrap from me. News and updates continue right here. Do stay with us.